Hello and Assalamualaikum Editor Dr. Farihah. My name is Aina Farihah and I am from Business Information System. I am from Some Knowledge and my other group members would be Soman and Masry. Today we would like to present to you our project presentation for knowledge management strategies. So first of all, I would like to go through the contents of this presentation. So firstly, we will start with a little introduction and later the objectives of this whole project, and some literature reviews related to this project, the methodology that we've used, also the results and discussions pertaining to the results that we've collected, and lastly, the conclusion of this presentation. So, an introduction to knowledge management. Knowledge management is a systematic approach that supports creation, sharing, and retaining a corporation's knowledge assets. It started gaining a lot of attention in the late 90s, where organizations began to realize and understand its importance and benefits. The thing about knowledge management is the idea of maintaining and constantly creating and making these all types of knowledge available 24/7, anywhere, anytime to the whole firm staff. And knowledge management benefits in a way that an organization can improve their business operations in terms of effectiveness, efficiency, how to reduce costs, how to gain much more profit, and also basically to communicate the entire firm's knowledge to improve and achieve business goals. The objectives of this project was to investigate current and existing knowledge management implementations in organizations. This project is also aimed to study how organizations adapt to knowledge management systems and utilize them to support knowledge processes in the firm, besides the challenges and issues that arise at the same time. Moving on, we are jumping into literature review. So, I will start with organizational structure. From all the literature reviews that I've done and all the papers that I'm using, they all mention how organizational structure is one of the critical success factors to a successful knowledge management implementation, whereby as highlighted by Siadat Martin Valfa, Saidinya Moga Rashid 2015, organizational structure represents different roles, the hierarchy, and the manner of strength and authority distribution, and also the quality of connections between roles in an organization. Organizational structure matters where there are always barriers and hierarchy to differentiate our existing roles in the firm. However, then the barrier between the communication barrier that hinders the effectiveness of knowledge sharing is what makes people do not understand how knowledge management can be implemented and how an organization can benefit from it. And the next would be the generalization that knowledge transfer is of real benefits seems hard to break as it is deeply rooted in the firm's own culture and mindset. Culture is always mentioned when it comes to knowledge management because it is not something that a firm is used to. And since we are introducing to them something new, there needs to be a practice and a culture that cultivates, that encourages much more knowledge sharing and knowledge transfer. This is just to ensure that all staffs in the organization can make informed decisions based on relevant knowledge that they receive. This is mentioned by Urasa and Khadami 2018. And also, lastly, Sukumaran and et al. 2018 later suggests that organizations should provide rewards to encourage the culture of sharing knowledge. Okay, so when the culture is not used to the idea of sharing knowledge, the staffs will always have this question in their mind: what do I get in return from sharing this knowledge with you? And the way to go about this and how organizations should approach, mainly in all the articles that I've studied, is that they should provide rewards. And rewards can come in many forms. It can be incentives, it can be bonuses, it can be job promotions, and a lot of different ways. And to them, when we give them these types of rewards, it indirectly motivates them to participate more, and alongside that, cultivate the culture of knowledge sharing and knowledge transfer. Not just knowledge transfer and knowledge sharing, from there, we can also encourage people to create knowledge. For example, from two different departments, when they share knowledge, maybe from there they can create something new, and that is where the knowledge should be shared throughout the organizations.
Okay, so coming to the methodology, the interview was conducted through an email. Our interviewer's name is Mr. Muhammad Fandi Suid, who is an Assistant Knowledge Manager at Employees Providence Fund EPF of Malaysia. His experience in this field are to establish and implement KM framework and roadmap to foster a knowledge sharing and continuous learning. In terms of project experience, he is the project manager of EPF Experts Talk. And we have prepared the questions for him for the interviewee to answer. So these are the list of questions. So firstly, we asked him what is the name of the organization that he worked in, followed by the question he wanted to know if his organization follows specific knowledge management practices. And the next question was to find out if his company have installed any knowledge management strategy in the organization. The next question is to know who are the people in the organization that are required to participate for the knowledge management program. Fifth question is to know what are the most important knowledge management objective for the organization, and followed by how did the organization initiate the KM process. So this is also important for the organization. The seventh question is to know the experience gained from doing knowledge management projects in the organization. The next question was to find out the knowledge management process embedded in the organization, followed by suitable knowledge management models or process that could be used for the technology adoption in this company. And the final question is to know how would the interviewee and his company implement a knowledge management creation process into the organization. We wanted to find out if the process depends solely only on information technology, or is there any other factors affecting it.
Okay, we continue with the results and discussion. So, based on this organization, EPF of Malaysia, it is the one company that organization that manage the serving plans for workers in Malaysia. So, for the organization, KM play an important role to manage the knowledge inside the organization. KM is needed in this organization as it implements the KM based on ISO standard. So it's not just normal KM, but then it's also implement based on what have been set by the ISO. So the procedures and steps in the organization is kept in an explicit form so that the knowledge can be used by the other uh, workers in the organization. So others discussion with the KM personnel is that we know that they are using KMS system, knowledge management system that is Microsoft SharePoint 2016, in which quite the same as UTP, and also the system is basically based on knowledge transfer or knowledge sharing. Then we move on. The next part is what process that they use in the organization. Here we got around 6 knowledge process, in which the first one is identification. Then they are using knowledge acquisition, and then they are sharing the or transfer the knowledge. And after that, the knowledge application, and they are preserving the knowledge and reuse it. And okay, on this part is the knowledge processes, that model that they are using uh, by Bota et al. 2008. So based on the model, we can know that they are using several knowledge processes so that all the uh, factors are covered. If you can see that all the knowledge there is based on the to cover on the technology part. Okay, so for the conclusion part.
Okay, now coming to the conclusion of our presentation. So, what did we learn while conducting this project was we managed to learn how real world companies use knowledge management strategies in organization. So far, we have studied knowledge management strategies, knowledge management system, but we did not know how it actually being implemented in normal or big companies. So besides that, we also learned on how they use certain knowledge management systems to communicate among each other. For example, Microsoft SharePoint. As already explained before this, Microsoft SharePoint 2016 was used by the company, okay, and it allows all the employees to communicate with each other. We believe that knowledge management plays an important role to manage the knowledge inside an organization. So that's all from us. Thank you.